Hey, what's going on there, folks? Earthmaster here checking in on this Saturday night, right? Party night, Saturday night, April 18th, 2020, about 8:53 p.m. West Coast time, and a little earthquake coming into the Idaho station right there, Haley, Idaho, showing a little bit of earthquake activity. Also, Mammoth Lakes down there in Southern California near Long Valley Supervolcano, continuing to show some earthquake activity there, as well as Yellowstone National Park there. That earthquake right there is probably a signature from the Idaho quake there that I just showed you. Even though it looks pretty significant on the station, but it's definitely a distant earthquake there from Idaho. And the activity no doubt continues up there in the Intermountain West region. West Coast looking pretty active out there as well. There was a couple three-pointers out there in eastern. Let's go ahead and zoom into this area here. Eastern Utah, western Colorado. Activity seems to be moving to the west or to the east just a little bit, as far as the pressure goes. That 3.0 striking near Wrangell, Colorado, at a depth of 4.9 kilometers below surface. A lot of activity in the Intermountain West, folks, from Salt Lake City all the way up to Idaho, down into Southern California. This activity now making its way further to the east, it seems. That gives me a really good suspicion that activity is still continuing to build out here on the West Coast and the Intermountain West area. So even though we didn't see an earthquake out there in the Pacific Northwest like we were kind of expecting, I believe that is coming shortly. You know, you can't really put a time limit on earthquakes out here. Mother Nature will do what she wants to do when she wants to do it, right? It's pure and simple. Man cannot control that. Let's go ahead and zoom in here to Northern California. Quite a bit of activity off the coast of Northern California there in the Triple Point Junction there. That includes the North American Plate, the Pacific Plate, and the Juan de Fuca Plate there, called the Mendocino Complex area. And a couple earthquakes there. Nothing major, folks. The biggest one in this sequence, a 3-point... I keep hearing something, folks. I don't know if you guys have been having any type of paranormal experience lately, but man, it's definitely been happening to me lately. Wow. 3.7 is the largest in the quakes out here, just off the coast of Northern California there on the Mendocino fault system here. It's kind of the edge or the end of the Gorda plate out here. The Juan de Fuca plate is kind of more over here to the east, which subducts, of course, underneath the North American plate. That activity to the north is pretty quiet, but not so much in this Triple Point Junction right here, which I like to call it there. Zoom in here and see if we can take a little bit closer look where these smaller earthquakes are taking place here. They're taking place out there on the Cascadia Megathrust, right, within that vicinity. That's not a good sign, but it's not impending doom, folks. I know we are looking forward to a, like I mentioned, a potential larger quake out there in Pacific Northwest. So it's still possible, I believe. Just there's too many signs pointing to it. If you haven't checked my latest updated videos there from a couple days ago in regards to this activity, then you might want to do so. As to the reason why I believe the Pacific Northwest is hitting, or going to get hit pretty soon. Here's the Idaho activity up there, 2.5 and above, 1 day from the USGS, folks. Continued earthquake activity. Lots of twos there showing up. Go ahead and bring this down to the all magnitudes here. These guys don't really show too much of a difference there in Idaho for some reason. But, hold on a second here. Let's go back. Yeah, that kind of messed it up a little bit, but There's definitely a lot more earthquake activity occurring out there, folks. Let's go back to the 1 day and let's get rid of that real quick. Let's go back to terrain, U.S. fault systems, U.S. hazard. Kind of there within the U.S. hazard system, right? You guys can see that. Although, you know, not, it's just kind of right outside. All this activity in Idaho is kind of just to the west of the hazard zone, right? The intense hazard zone of earthquake activity that the folks there at the USGS are putting out. And you can see it stretches pretty far out here, and including into Yellowstone. Yellowstone should be bright red, but it's not. They just don't know. So once again, a lot of this earthquake activity just north of the Sawtooth Fault system. In days past, we have seen this activity stretch well south into the Sawtooth Fault system, and also to the east and west of the Sawtooth Fault system as well. So it's definitely very active out there in that specific area of Idaho. Let's go ahead and zoom into this earthquake that occurred in Colorado, just kind of on the border area, or just east of the border of Utah and Colorado. Once again, near Wrangell, Colorado. I don't see any specific fault systems out there from the USGS. Of course, mountain ranges are going to be built up from the faults and whatnot. I believe this is just another Intermountain West earthquake, like we're seeing there in Idaho and the Salt Lake City area. Of course, you know, and looking at the satellite view, you guys can see, you know, there's a tremendous amount of fracking sites out there all through western Colorado. You know, the humans, they love to get out there, and they love to suck up the oil and the natural gas, and they love to drill, you know, 5-6 miles down and suck up Mother Nature. And yeah, each one of these little squares, if you will, these little, well, some of these might be old. I don't see any equipment out there, you know, any wells and whatnot, any tanks. Looks like they may be decommissioned out here, but there's definitely been some in the past, well within this area, all over the area. But once again, that's just a little 3.0 out there, western Colorado, just before you get to the beautiful Rocky Mountain region, right? Let's go ahead and zoom into the Mammoth Lakes region there. Still seeing some earthquake activity. No major increase at all. Just kind of standard aftershock activity following that earthquake there a few days ago in the Mammoth Lakes region. Quite a few upper ones and some twos in there as well. I want to go back to the global view here real quick, if I can, and take a look at the 6.6 earthquake that struck out there just south of Japan. Well, way earlier, probably late last night, early this morning there. The rings out here are kind of looking a little pinkish, reddish color, that indicating some age there. This earthquake struck out there in the subduction area of the Pacific Ring of Fire. Very deep earthquake out there, and very strong magnitude. 453 kilometers below the surface there. That was quickly followed up by a 5.7 earthquake that struck just a little bit deeper at 467 kilometers below the surface there. So major movement going on out there in the Pacific Plate, as we have observed over the past, well, week or so. And that activity continues. We're finally starting to see, like I said, a little bit of activity out there off the coast of Northern California. Nothing major, like I said, 3.7 and quite a few twos out there as well. But this could be a major player in seeing some increased earthquake activity overnight and into the day tomorrow. Other than that, folks, Chile South America quieting down. Puerto Rico just seeing a little bit of swarming out there. Not a big deal. This is pretty much well below average far as the swarming activity that has occurred out there in Puerto Rico over the past few months and over the last year. So no increase in earthquake activity out there. 2.8, the latest earthquake activity occurring out there. Looks like the Idaho region. Anyway, folks, with this new activity off the coast of northern Cal, in the Cascadia subduction zone, it's definitely important to be on alert out there. I did mention about the Pacific Northwest seeing an earthquake or two, but like I say, it's kind of iffy. Time will tell, but there's just been so much. I'm not even joking, folks. So much earthquake activity in the Intermountain West, all the way from Idaho, Salt Lake City, now Colorado, down to Southern Cal, and every other place out here has been pretty active except for Northern California northward. So with this new activity in Northern Cal, maybe it's possible we might see this taking shape here over the next day or so. We'll have to just see how this plays out and see how Mother Nature wants to handle this. Anyway, folks, I'm going to jump off here. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Please stay safe out there in the west again, or the southern states again, southeast. Oh my gosh, man. Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, they're looking like a repeat tomorrow. A repeat of severe weather that just happened a week ago on Easter Sunday there with a tornado outbreak. We could see a very good possibility of extreme tornado outbreak again there in the southern states. So, oh my gosh, just please stay safe, folks. You know, there's no need for anyone to die out there. Please have your weather radios on. Please have your, if you have to, leave the TV on, leave your radio on so you can at least get some type of alert. Weather's going to be very, very dangerous out there tomorrow and into Monday. So just please stay weather aware. I don't want to see anybody get hurt out there. You know, I got quite a few friends out there in that region, so it's good to be alert, folks. That's all I'm asking. Anyway, please stay safe out there, and we'll chat you guys a little bit later tomorrow. Peace out.